But you were there with Phil Jackson and Michael Jordan, and I know we didn't have social media, but how were things discussed, settled in the locker room when there were disputes?
Well, players handle their business themselves. I mean, trust me, we had fist fights, behind the scenes no one knew about. I mean, guys got after each other, but you know what? We were a solid group. That's the only way you can win championships if you got to have everybody on the same page. And players never called out players in the media. If anybody was going to call out anybody, it'd be Phil. Phil would always get you those little sneak disses in the press, and you'd be like, "Wow, come on, Phil, you could have told me that." Because you see now with Phil and Carmelo. I mean, so when you see what's going on now in New York with the things that are being leaked out, and Phil would have ways to get your attention, And so if anybody was going to do that, it would be Phil in a professional way, not in a way to demean anybody or to make a player feel like he's worthless. But this situation now with social media and the way things are in this generation, and these kids that are playing in this league now, they feel like they got to tell everybody what's going on. I mean, you look at the situation in Cleveland with LeBron. I mean, LeBron has the right to say whatever he wants to because he's the best player in the league right now. But when you won a championship last year and your GM was the greatest GM, and then this year you're not winning, now he's not a good GM. So you got to handle those things in-house. And you just these kids nowadays, Dan, and I mean, they feel like they got to go on Snapchat, they got to go on, Instagram, they got to tell everything that's going on, and it's really sad.
But these are veterans who are involved in this. Jimmy Butler, Dwayne Wade, and Rajon Rondo, they've been around the block or two. They're the ones that are showing these younger kids how not to do it. That's what I find embarrassing about all of this.
Yeah, that's what I'm a little bit disappointed in because, regardless of what people think about Rondo has been a great, great teammate this year. I've heard all the stories about him, on these other teams, and I was a little skeptical when we picked him up, but I'm around him every day. I mean, he works with the young players. He's been a great mentor, and people have been waiting for him to explode. He got benched, a couple of weeks ago, set out 5 games. He didn't blow up on the sideline. He didn't stop coming to games. I mean, this is a guy who comes to the events even when he's not scheduled to be there. If they give the guys a night off, he comes to the practices with the young players. He even goes to D-League games to watch some of the kids that may not be playing a lot for the Bulls that go down and play for the Windy City Bulls. This is a guy that goes and watches these kids play, at the Windy City Bulls game, giving him some support. So I can see where he's coming from, and I can see Dwayne Wade's frustration. But at the end of the day, you've got to be held accountable. This thing cannot happen. If you're Fred Hoiberg right now, I don't know if it's too late, but you've got to put your foot down and you got to lay the law down, and this can't be happening. You can't be airing your dirty laundry out like, a bunch of schoolgirls and going to social media talking about each other because it just doesn't look right. This is professional sports. It's not high school.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.